Today, I would like to introduce you a basic knowledge about Chinese characters. Before I tell any knowledge of Chinese characters, I would like to show you two characters, even though you haven't learned them. All I can tell you is that one of them means to smile and the other one means to cry. Can you guess which one is to smile and which one is to cry? Very good. Even though you haven't learned those characters, I think most of you have already guessed it out. This one means to cry, and the second one means to smile. And why is that? Because the first one looks like somebody is crying. It has the eyes, it has even a tear under the eyes. And why is that? Because Chinese characters comes from the pictures. That's why we call it a pictograph. And I'll give you some more examples. Here I show you four pictures: the moon, the water, the fire, and the sun. And then we have the Asian way of writing those characters. And then we have the modern way of writing those characters. Can you guess which picture is for which Asian character and is for which modern character? For example, the moon. Can you guess it out? That's right. The moon, the Asian character, is the third one, and the modern one is the second one. So this is how we develop the Chinese characters from picture to the modern way. And the second one, the sun, this is how we write it in the Asian way, and this is how we write it in the modern way. And the fire and the sun. So to draw in a picture is not very easy, it's complicated, and different people can draw it in a different way. So as time goes by, Chinese people like to find an easier way to write those characters. So they just to reduce the lines with different strokes, and that is how Chinese characters developed. And sometimes it's not very easy to write or to draw the pictures for each conception, because sometimes the conception is not very concrete. So Chinese people find a new way to express new ideas by putting those pictographs together. For example, this one, the left side, as we just talked about, that is the sun, and the right side is the moon. And all together, what does that mean? When the sun and the moon is together, that means bright, very bright. So this character together, that means bright. And this is how we write it nowadays. And the second one, as you can see here, we have two people. One is following another. And that is how Chinese express the conception to follow somebody. We put two pictographs together. Each of them means the person. So one person follow the other one, that is to follow. And now we write it in this way. And the other one, we have the eye, we have the water. What is the water coming from your eyes? That's the tear. So nowadays, we write it in this way. On the left side, that is the water, the three drops of the water. And on the right side, that is the way how we write the eye. So altogether, that is the tear. And sometimes by simply putting pictures together, it is still very difficult to express some abstract conception. And Chinese people find another way to express new ideas. For example, this one. The longer line and a short line above it. And this short line actually is a point. It points out the space on top of the longer line. And that means on top of or above. And nowadays we're writing this way. Shang, that means on top of. And the other one is opposite to shang. The longer line and a dot under it. And that dot pointed the place under the longer line, and that means under it or lower than something, and that is what we call xia nowadays, which means under. And next one, we have this, and that means the tree. And we have a point at the behind part, the under part of the tree, and that means the root of the tree. So this character means the root of the tree. The original meaning of it is the root of the tree. So we just point that part out. So those are some ways Chinese people created characters, by drawing the pictures and develop it with strokes, or by combining the pictograms together, or by pointing out some part of the pictogram to show new ideas. And next we talk about basic strokes of Chinese characters. As we said, drawing pictures is difficult, so nowadays we use strokes to write characters, and those strokes just replace the lines of the pictures. And nowadays we have 6 basic strokes. The first one is the dot, or we call it 点. And the second stroke is called 横, that is the horizontal stroke. So we write it from left to right. And the third one, we call it 竖, that is the vertical stroke. It is written from up or from top to the bottom. And next one, we call it 撇, or the downward left stroke. This one is written from top to bottom left. And next one we call it 捺. That is the downward right stroke. It is written from top to the bottom right. And the last basic stroke is called 提. So it is written from bottom left to top right, and is very short. That is the basic strokes of Chinese characters. And when writing characters, some students find it very difficult because they don't know which stroke should be written first and which one should be written later. Next, we're going to talk about the basic stroke order. And those order is the basic order. When you're writing characters, you should follow this order. The first one is from up to down. So no matter how complicated a character is, you should always write from up to down. And second one, from left to right. Even a horizontal stroke like a 横, you write it from left to right, not the other way around, right? And the third one, from outside to inside. And sometimes if the outside is closed, you write the up outside part and the inside, and then you close it. And next one is the horizontal stroke should always be before the vertical stroke. And the rule number 5, the downward left stroke should always be before the downward right stroke. That's the basic stroke order of writing Chinese characters. And I would like to show you some videos of how we write those characters. For example, the first one, we write from top to bottom, from first the horizontal stroke and then vertical stroke, and first the downward left stroke and downward right stroke, and then we write the down part. And by watching the video, you can have a vivid impression of how we should follow the stroke order to write characters. And we also have another video to show you from left to right, and how we should write from outside to inside. All right, that is the introduction of Chinese characters. Thank you for watching this video.